Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I am so glad to be back with you guys. It has been a full month, and it feels like it has been forever since I have chatted with you on Facebook with new books. So tonight I have teens through all the way down to our babies for our new books. I'm really excited. I've got all sorts of really fun things that I brought. I also have a slideshow, so we are going to do this through our brand new fancy streaming service. So please type in the comments if you don't see my slides come up or something like that, because I do need to know. So, and don't forget to say hi when you hop on. I love to know who is actually watching. So I'm going to take me off the screen and I'm going to add our slideshow. Let's see, I got to add myself back. So we're just going to do it this way with me. And there we go. See, I just had to work it out. So welcome, like I said, to Book Chat. I'm so glad to be here. We're going to start, as usual, with our teen books because I know our teens are a little impatient. So the first book I brought up is A Map to the Sun, and this is a brand new graphic novel. It is beautifully colored. Let me just tell you, I loved the illustrations in this. The Map of the Sun is a gripping YA graphic novel about 5 principal players on a struggling girls' basketball team. One summer day, Rin meets Luna at a beachside basketball court, and a friendship is born. But when Luna moves back to Oha, Rin's messages to her go unanswered. Years go by, then Luna returns, hoping to rekindle their friendship. Rin is hesitant. She's dealing with a lot, including family troubles, dropping grades, and the newly formed women's basketball team at their high school. With Rin's new friends and Luna all on the basketball team, the lines between their lives on and off the court begin to blur. During their first season, this diverse and endearing group of teens are challenged in ways that make them reevaluate just who and how they trust. Salone Long's evocative storytelling about the lives of these young women is an ode to the dynamic nature of friendship. I loved the use of the artwork in here and the beautiful, beautiful colors that this book showed. So that is A Map to the Sun. Our next teen book is Don't Call the Wolf. This one I'm really excited about because it is one of the rare standalone fantasies that you get in the teens. I love series. I love reading them, but sometimes you just want a book that is just a standalone, and that is what this book is. And it's really for fans that, like Holly Black, will devour this gorgeously imaginative fantasy about a dark forest besieged by monsters and the wild queen who is sworn to drive them out. A fierce young queen, neither human nor lynx, who fights to protect the forest humans have long abandoned. An exhausted young soldier, last of his name, who searches for a brother who disappeared beneath those trees without a trace. A golden dragon, fearsome and vengeful, whose wing beats haunt their nightmares and their steps. When these 3 paths cross at the fringes of a war between monsters and men, shapeshifter, queen, and reluctant hero strike a deal that may finally turn the tide against the rising hordes of darkness. Rin will help Luxka find his brother if Luxka promises to slay the dragon. But promises are all too easily broken. This Eastern European fantasy, inspired by the Polish fairy tale The Glass Mountain, will take you on a twisting journey full of creeping tension, simmering romance, and haunting folklore. And this is perfect for fans who loved An Enchantment of Ravens or The Hazelwood. Like I said, standalone, and I was super excited for this one. Our next teen book that everybody should be reading is I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. And this is by Kimberly Jones and Gilly Siegel. And I just want to read the quote that I have here at the bottom. An astounding achievement. This novel is incendiary experience. One that does not shy away from the difficult questions about privilege and violence. An absolute page turner, I Am Not Dying with You Tonight is a compelling and powerful novel that makes an impact. An NAACP Image Award nominee, I'm Not Dying with You Tonight, follows two teen girls, one black, one white, who have to confront their own assumptions about racial inequality as they rely on each other to get through the violent race riot that has set their city on fire with civil unrest. Lena has her killer style, her awesome boyfriend, and a plan. She knows she's going to make it big. Campbell, on the other hand, is just trying to keep her head down and get through the year at a new school. When both girls attend the Friday night football game, what neither expects is that for everything to descend into a sudden mass chaos. Chaos born from violence and hate. Chaos that unexpectedly throws them together. They aren't friends. They hardly understand the other's point of view. But none of that matters when the city is up in flames, and they only have each other to rely on if they're going to survive the night. This book is perfect for fans of Nick Stone, Angie Thomas, and Jason Reynolds. And I highly recommend everybody read this. This is one of those books that you're going to read in one sitting and you're never going to forget it. Our next teen book, you guessed it, is a cookbook. I love cookbooks, and I especially liked this cookbook. This is the Complete Cookbook for Teens. It is 120 recipes to kickstart a teen chef's culinary creativity and confidence. From doing laundry to parallel parking, growing up requires teenagers to learn some very important life skills. None more important than, you guessed it, cooking. The Complete Cookbook for Teens teaches young adults looking to advance their cooking knowledge with straightforward instruction and easy-to-make recipes. Inside this cookbook for teens, young chefs will find tons of recipes for tasty classics like pizza, sandwiches, and pancakes, as well as information on different cooking techniques, kitchen safety, and how to properly set up a chef's station. Also in this cookbook for teens, they'll even learn how to plate like a chef so that the whole family, or maybe a special significant other, feels like they're dining out at a fine dining establishment. So it includes more than 120 recipes that are accessible and easy to make. Teens will discover a mix of meat, fish, and vegetarian recipes, so all different styles, a rating system, and it will help you get familiar with all things kitchen. When your young adult wants to get things cooking, this is the cookbook for them. So I highly recommend this one for almost anybody. And let me just tell you, the pictures in it are gorgeous. So we are going to move on to our children's titles. This is children's picture books and our one easy reader that I brought with us. I mainly stuck with picture books this time. So our first is our easy reader, and this is called Interrupting Cow, and this is by Jane Yolen. If you recognize that name, you know that she is a very prolific children's writer, and this is her foray into easy readers. This is a level 2 easy reader, so not for your very, 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 very beginning just sight words, but for the next level. And this is a delightfully funny level 2 ready-to-read story that puts a twist on a classic knock-knock joke. Knock-knock, who's there? Sorry, guys. Interrupting cow, who? Well, you know how the joke goes, or do you? Read this side-splitting book to discover the true and surprisingly heartwarming story of the one and only interrupting cow. This book had me giggling and laughing. It is sure to be a crowd pleaser. And it's fun that you could actually read it out loud. So even if you have a child that's a little young and not quite ready to read on their own, you could still read this out loud to them, and I guarantee you're going to have some laughter. So our next book is The What Ifs by Emily Kilgore. And this is a wonderful addition for developmental needs a lot of ways. This is a book about a girl that struggles with anxiety. As you know, there has been a lot of anxiety around everything going on. And it wouldn't be unusual for our kids to kind of struggle with a little bit of anxiety as they either head back to school or start homeschool or whatever the fall holds. So this book, The What Ifs, is perfect to help with this. Cora is struggling with her what if questions ahead of the big piano recital in this timely picture book about overcoming anxiety. What if my dog runs away? What if I forget my homework? What if the sun stops spinning? What if my crayons break? Cora is constantly worrying about everything. Because of this, the what ifs love her. They sneak up to her and give her all kinds of doubts, big and small, silly and frightening, likely or impossible. As she prepares for an upcoming piano recital, the what ifs cling tighter and drag her down, making her anxious about messing up during the concert. Will she be able to change her worry-filled thoughts into hopeful ones? Find out with The What Ifs. This book I loved, and I highly recommend as school starts up. So our next children's picture book. Do you recognize this panda? If you have ever read Please, Mr. Panda, this is a new one in this book series. It's called We Love You, Mr. Panda, and our favorite grumpy panda is back. Silly and very sweet. Everyone needs love. From best-selling Mr. Panda. Mr. Panda is waiting with eager and open arms to give free hugs, but nobody seems to want any of his cuddles. After his friends skunk, crop, elephant, moose, mouse, sloth, and ostrich hug each other, Mr. Panda is left wanting some love. If only he knew what his friends had in store. This heartwarming story with adorable art and good humor will please even the pickiest readers. I love that you have such a kind of grumpy looking little panda and all he wanted was a nice squeeze. I know I can relate to that panda. Sometimes all you need is just a good hug at the end of the day. So our next book is called Soaked, which I thought was absolutely appropriate since we had our very first record, well, not our very first, but our record-breaking rainy summer. It was my very first rainy summer here in Ketchikan. And this book made me laugh and giggle and was just so charming. And what a wonderful reminder that even rain can't spoil the fun that we can have. And the illustrations are absolutely adorable. As you can see, I put one up with a bear hula hooping because, yes, that just made me so happy. It looks like a wet and dreary day for Bear and his trio of friends. How could he possibly have fun when he is soaked? But Badger, Rabbit, and Moose don't seem to mind. In fact, Moose can still hula hoop, and it looks like so much fun. Might Bear like to try? Here is a story that shows that fun is not dependent on sunshine and blue skies. In fact, it might be more fun to be soaked. So I loved how you have different words like splish and splash and splosh that the kids can help you say. You can also talk about the animals' faces. As you can see, Bear's grumpy face, and then Bear has a happy face. It is a wonderful, fun book that is a good reminder for all of us that little rain does not spoil our fun. So it is September, and that's my rule, is I can't talk about Halloween books until September. Well, it is September 2nd, so I can now officially tell you about It's Halloween, Little Monster by Helen Kettman. I love the Little Monster books, and this one is absolutely right in with that favorite. Little Monster is going trick-or-treating for the very first time. There's going to be all kinds of creatures about, like witches and vampires and zombies and firefighters, and lots of spooky noises too. As Little Monster makes his way around the neighborhood, Papa is there to help guide him through his fears as they encounter one scary thing after another until they reach the last house of the night. It's the spookiest house of all. And yikes, there might be a surprise waiting for him. Will Little Monster be brave? I love this book because it takes some of the fear that our littles would naturally experience for Halloween, and changes it to be a fun and exciting thing, and kind of gives the littles a peek at what to expect as they head out on maybe their first or second Halloween trick-or-treating. And the Little Monster, let's just say, is adorable. Okay, so let's move on to our older readers. Our first book up tonight is a second book in a series. You don't have to read this series in order. It is The Chicken Squad, and this is called Dark Shadows. Yes, another misadventure, and this is by Doreen Corrin. It is a chapter book, and that is very liberally illustrated. So it is not daunting for the kids. They're a little above readers, but not quite ready to like jump full into all that fiction. This is where you want to go. So the Chicken Squad is back in their fourth misadventure, and this time they're facing their darkest mystery yet, shadows. A lip-bitingly funny chapter book from best-selling author of Click Clack Moo. There's a big, shadowy mystery lurking about on what was supposed to be a nice chicken family vacation to a farm. Sugar is certain that she is being watched, and when Poppy's beloved shoe, the shoe that keeps her safe and snug, goes missing, Sugar is sure that it is the shadow is the culprit. But how does the Chicken Squad tackle a shadow and do it without ruining the family reunion, which includes meeting 85 cousins whose names all begin with the letter B? A lesson on figuring out parameters? No, Sugar, a perimeter of a car is not 1 mile, and deciding how many bags of jelly beans one should pack on a road trip. This book will keep you laughing and entertained. So our next book is a new series to us, and it is like Choose Your Own Adventure. Do you guys remember reading those? I read a lot of Choose Your Own Adventures when I was growing up because I love the fact that I could choose what happened. And these are You Choose, and this one is a retelling of Cinderella. So it's absolutely full of interaction and choices for the young reader to make. In this Choose Your Adventure, Cinderella can be a modern-day girl living in a city, a young man in a medieval fairy tale, or a girl in a futuristic space society. The choice is up to the reader. Pumpkin? Check. Terrible sisters? Check. Prince Charming? Maybe. But not like you've ever seen before. Get ready for a Cinderella surprise as you choose the path through 3 new versions of a classic fairy tale. Absolutely so much fun. And I love these books, especially for reluctant readers, because they give the story over to the reader. So it's always fun when that happens. Our next book is The Mysterious Messenger by Gilbert Ford. This is absolutely perfect for fall and all that is fall. It just made me feel like snuggling up and just reading. The Mysterious Messenger is a rich middle-grade urban fantasy starring young psychic Maria de la Cruz, and this is by award-winning artist Gilbert Ford. 11-year-old Maria de la Cruz is trapped under the thumb of Madame Destiny, her pseudo-psychic, wow, I can't read, mother. Destiny is a bona fide con artist who will stop at nothing to swindle her customers into believing she can communicate with the dead. But Maria, unlike her mother, has a big secret. She really can communicate with the dead, most frequently with a ghost named Edward, who has been her only friend since she was a child. It is not long before the clairvoyant young sleuth gets wrapped up in an epic journey that combines bookish mysteries with a literary movement of the beat poets and the art and jazz history. Maria may have the power to unlock extraordinary secrets, but can she find the treasure Edward sends her clues about? More importantly, can she find true friendship? This smart, big-hearted novel is perfect for fans of Book Scavenger, Winter House, and the Van de Beekers of 41st Street. Like I said, I love this book. It screamed fall to me, and it was just such a fun read to sit down and read at night. It helped that it had so many bookish references. So we have a new graphic novel for our middle grade. This is One Year at Ellesmere by Faith Erin Hicks. With revamped art and now in color, One Year at Elsmere is an endearing and surprising middle-grade friendship story from beloved author Faith Erin Hicks. Was boarding school supposed to be this hard? When studious 13-year-old Juniper wins a scholarship to the prestigious Elsmere Academy, she expects to find a scholastic utopia. But living at Elsmere is far from ideal. She is labeled a special project. Elsmere's queen bee is out to destroy her, and it's rumored that a mystical beast roams the forest next to the school. Follow Juniper as she goes through her year at Elsmere. The art in this book was fun and fantastic. I know I used fantastic a lot, but it really was. I loved the illustrations, and I loved how they illustrated Juniper. It just made me just smile and giggle, and her expressions were so clear and so great and added so much to the story. So for our final book tonight, I brought Lego Halloween Ideas. I told you it's September, so I'm going to sneak in a Halloween book or two. This book is so much fun. It has more than 50 fun builds with bricks that you already have probably laying around. This lets you create, like I said, 50 fun builds. Use your Lego collection to conjure up a giant pet, a ghost ship, a witch's house, and many more creepy creations. Plus, challenge your friends to spooky Lego games. These Halloween-themed models and activities will keep you busy throughout the spooky season. Let the ghoulish fun begin. It's a shorter book, but so much fun for all of our kids that love Legos. And especially if they love Legos and love Halloween, why not get them both put together, and then you get Halloween ideas. So all of these books are available currently, and I am so excited that you joined me tonight. Thank you so much for hanging with me. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I am going to leave this up on the website and on YouTube. And if you want these books, please let us know. They're going to be available in the children's library in the teen section, or you can place them on hold, or you can give us a call and we can place them on hold for you. Okay, everybody, have a good evening.